Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Compton Union Building MG Carey Senior Ballroom. Before the event starts, we have some important information to share. In an emergency or evacuation situation, exits are located through the main entrance or the perimeter of the room. Once outside, proceed down the mall and away from the building. If you are unable to navigate the stairs, there is an area of refuge down the hall to the left and in the east staircase. Fire extinguishers and pull stations are located throughout the perimeter of this room. An AED and basic first aid kit is located downstairs on the first floor at our main information desk. Restrooms are located across the mezzanine on your left as you exit the senior ballroom. For any other questions, please visit the information desk downstairs and one of our friendly building managers would be happy to assist. Thank you and enjoy your event.
Wow, wow, wow. What a event. On the behalf of Center for Entrepreneurship, I want to welcome you all to the 2025 Business Plan Competition. Congratulations for being here. I want to give you a round of applause for what I've seen today. You guys are amazing. Great pitches, great teams, great energy. Thank you all for being here. You're what makes this business plan competition really work. And I hope that you've seen some of what we're trying to do here at the Center for Entrepreneurship and some of the outcomes of that. Let's see here. You know, this is a celebration of learning how to build a business, entrepreneurship, and all of you have put in amazingly hard work. We are all very aware of the amount of work that goes into putting together a business plan, a team, everything that you do to put together what may be a viable business, and learning along the way and being open to working with different points of view. Entrepreneurship is a cross-disciplinary activity, and we are looking at the center is at the center of that and bridging the disciplines across each other. And we are very, very happy to see you all here tonight. And the great part about this is you're all competing for $61,750 tonight. So we put a little bit on the line there, and you guys have definitely earned it. Oh my gosh. So, by the way, just to give you an idea of what the competition, you know, some of you have been asking, we had entries from 50 Washington State University teams with like 113 students. We had 64 high school teams originally enter with 127 students and 32 open league teams. And this is the first year that we opened up the open league beyond Washington and Idaho, and we had an amazing turnout. I know that this some visitors that came in today. This is their first time in Pullman, and we are just excited about the open league and the competition there as well. Thank you, Foster Garvey and Dan Wadkins. Yeah, we will get to the sponsors, trust me. And thank you to all the volunteers. The timing and everything that went off today with all the teams and all the rooms I saw, you did amazing. thank you for making an event just flawless from start to finish. I do want to say some special thanks to the judges that you've all had an experience to meet today, or I hope you have. And I want to say first, all of you went through the screening round, all of you went through the presentation round, and today you're doing the final rounds. You want to take a guess at how many judges that takes to make that happen? I'm going to tell you. In the screening round, we had 85 judges come in and support, looking through your plans and deciding who would go forward. We had 85 people come in to do that. We had 25 judges come in for the presentation round, and it was amazing. We had 4 judges today for the high school final round, 3 judges for the Foster Garvey, and 4 judges. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them here. Our Wazoo collegiate judges. I want to thank Ryan Lance, Dave Devine, Alex Fisher, and Diane Freeman for doing an amazing job in the Wazoo Collegiate League. Thank you. That was something else today. In the Open League, I want to thank Dan Watkins and, of course, Foster Garvey. We'll talk a little bit more of that. Scott Thompson was a part of that judging panel, and Chip Overstreet. Thank you so much for being here. You guys elevating this competition to, and the high school league, Julie, thank you. Tyler Bowe from Schweitzer, Julie Wukalek from Believe in Me. I am not going to forget you. Lisa Desmarais and Jeff Baker swinging in at the last minute to help us out with the high school teams. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the sponsors, let's talk about that. These are folks who give their hard-earned cash to support your visions and help you to turn those into reality. Our sponsors are everything, and we are so thankful for them because they believe in you, and what you did today was show them that they're putting the money in the right place. Thank you for that. I have got to say, Dave Devine, thank you for making it always. Dave is amazing. And I can't say enough, and I'm going to quit embarrassing him. But Dave is also a partner at Lee and Hayes, who also swings in and supports us. So thank you again, Dave and Lee and Hayes. I know a lot of teams have had experience with his firm. I've heard just amazing things, and I know that Dave is also helps us out on the board, and it's just great. Foster Garvey, I knew we'd get to it. Foster Garvey and Dan Watkins, thank you for the Open League support. We have Tony Poston for Cougs First. Thank you, Cougs First. Believe in Me, we Believe in Me with Julie. Submittable, we have Brittany, and we'll be hearing from her. Submittable, thank you very much. Valikoff Fruit Company, Dave and Deborah Grant, Mark Wotilla. The Entrepreneurship Advisory Board gave, money. Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories, thank you. Thank you. I spent the last 8 years there. It's good to see them getting involved with the business plan competition. We can't thank you enough for that. Spokane Angel Alliance. And these are folks who are making right now happen. So I want to thank every single one of them. These are the real heroes, right? And so they make it all possible. And so thank you. All right. I am going to welcome now someone much better at speaking than me, Nikki Torres, who is joining us from Seattle. She is an Emmy award-winning reporter from Fox 13. We are so lucky to have her. She's also a WSU alumna and a former participant in this very competition. And we have to ask how you did in that. But anyway, I'm turning it over to Nikki now, and thank you, Nikki.
Hi, everyone. How you feeling? Thanks for the intro, Paul. I am so excited to be here. I am a WSU alum, as he mentioned, and I love being a Coug. Anytime I get to come back to Pullman for especially something like this is truly an honor. I was talking to somebody earlier, just counting how many BPCs I've been a part of, and I think I'm coming up on my 10th one now. So needless to say, I love this program, and I'm really happy for everyone who is in here, for the teams. You put a lot of work into this, so congratulations. Whether or not you go home with a big check or not, your work it's noticed today. So round of applause for everybody. All right, so to get things started, please join me in welcoming Matt Mossman from Pelion Venture Partners. Now, Matt and Pelion have been BPC supporters now for years, so we are very happy to have him here tonight. Come on up, Matt. Now, Matt has been on this stage before, so I know to do this.
Thanks. I'm grateful to be here and grateful to see that much younger, handsomer version of Matt behind me. I don't know where we got that photo. I'm really grateful to be here for Pelion Venture Partners. We've been associated with WSU for quite some time. Pelion is one of the largest and oldest venture funds in the Intermountain West. We're located in Salt Lake City. We're investing right now out of a $500 million fund, so doing a lot of work. And I've been associated with this for some time. Just so you guys know, I grew up in Moscow, right around the corner here. So excited to be here every time I come. What I'm most excited about is the students that we meet, the work you guys do. It's really impressive. I want you to know that. We're really impressed with the work that you do. All the things that we saw today are super impressive work on your part. The other thing I just want you to know, I have done judging at dozens of colleges all over the country and in other countries. I've done it at Cambridge University in the UK, I've done it at Harvard, I've done it at UCLA. This is as good as it gets. You guys are every bit as good as anybody anywhere, and you should be proud of the work you do. We're really happy to do this. Thank you very much.
All right, another round of applause for Matt and Pelion, please. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Huge supporter of the Center for Entrepreneurship. It is time now for our keynote speaker of the evening. So please, everyone, give a big Cougar welcome to Jeff Curl. Jeff, go ahead and come up here. Jeff is the former executive chair of Skullcandy. He's also the co-founder of Stance Socks, and he is currently also a partner at Pelion Venture Partners. Jeff, welcome to the BPC.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here. It's the first time I've ever been on campus like this, and it's a very beautiful place in the world, and I'm happy to be able to be here. I didn't realize I was giving this talk till about 1 in the afternoon, and I had to work all afternoon, so I had about 5 minutes before I got up here to prepare. And if I was normally going to speak to a group this large, I would spend a lot of time genuinely preparing, so you have to give me some grace if it doesn't come off just right. It's not rehearsed. We're going to freestyle. It's going to be like Snoop Dogg. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. My father was a dentist. I grew up in a family of 5, a very conservative religious family. And, one of the things as I was growing up is I was naturally very entrepreneurial. I had a mobile disc jockey business, and I figured out that I could charge schools to DJ their dances, and I was able to make a lot of income in high school. And then when I got to college, I just duplicated it, except I turned it into bigger college parties. And that gave me my first taste of what it was like to run my own business and control my own income. It never clicked to me at that time that entrepreneurship could actually be a vocation, that it was something you could do. I just looked at this as a solution to a problem. I want money, and that's a way to go get it, and it just seemed to work. Product market fit. And it troubled me for a long time. I do feel like I'm well qualified to speak to you. I have now 6 kids of my own, 24, 21, 18, 17, 15, and 14. So I got 2 kids that just graduated from college, 2 seniors about to go to college, and an 8th grader and a sophomore. And so we talk about college and the idea of what are you going to be when you grow up. And it's interesting because when I did a sleepover with my daughter's class a few years ago, and they went around and asked these kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say news reporter, soccer player, movie producer, actor, like the biggest dreams you can ever imagine. But then something changes from these early years to the time they get to be about in college, and for some reason, most of the kids seem like they've forgotten their dream to be a Premier League soccer player or an actor or whatever the big dream was. And the beautiful part about entrepreneurship is it really is the act of creation. It's the act of creating the dream. You visualize it first in your head, you dream what it can be, and then you go put the pieces in place to make it happen. And it's a little bit like an architectural plan. If the plan is really well drawn, it says put the outlet in exactly this spot because we're going to put a lamp there. The electrician will put the outlet there when he's building the house. But if it just says put an outlet on the wall to code, he's going to put it in the easiest place, and it may or may not be close to your lamp. So the best entrepreneurs have a very clear vision of what they're building. It's very detail-oriented, and they have the communication skills to be able to express that to other people. Investors, customers, and employees. So this idea of sort of dreaming and translating and communicating is really what entrepreneurship is. It's also building something with constraints, right? On day one, you don't have any money and you don't have any employees and you don't have any help. So you have to be very resourceful and gregarious and figure it out on your own. And once you prove that you can do a lot of the things required to operate the business of one, eventually you earn the right to get help. And now you have one less constraint. And if you repeat that a few times, pretty soon you might even attract an investor. And then you can go faster and you have fewer constraints and the business becomes de-risked over time. And that's really the pattern of entrepreneurship. I've been lucky in that I've been involved with 4 companies that started as nothing and became very large. And those experiences of getting to choose the people that I get to work with, and recruiting them, and building something together, even if you took away the financial reward, the satisfaction that you get when you take something from nothing and put it into the world and other people find value in it is deep. It's a deep, deep satisfaction. I think it is not a coincidence that regardless of your faith, whatever it might be, people often use the word God and creator as a synonym, right? And so when you really start thinking about this idea of creation and taking something that is in your mind, you've assimilated a bunch of information and experiences, you put it together, you've observed something about the world that is less observed by other people. It is less obvious, but it's bothered you or you've detected the opportunity. You've spotted a niche. There's something there, and you will begin to have this relentless fire to pursue it and create a solution to this problem that you observed in the world. A lot of the best entrepreneurs are great observers. They're really observant. When they go someplace and they don't get good service, they kind of question why didn't they get good service? Or if they see something that's not quite right, they think there could be a better and different way to do this. So I actually think all of us have the ability to become very perceptive entrepreneurs. And that first thing that you identify, we have a term for that. And we think it's really important and powerful. And when we look at investing in a company, we often ask the entrepreneur this question. We say, what is your earned insight, right? What was the thing that you observed about the world, your unique experience that allowed you to see this thing that is less obvious to others? And when that insight is really powerful, that's usually the seed of a really interesting and differentiated company. The more powerful the insight, the deeper the insight. Sometimes the insight can be shallow, and I'll talk about a few of those. I'll tell a few stories and do my best to keep you entertained versus just generic advice about entrepreneurship. But I think this idea of an earned insight, this thing that you see that's different, you can almost judge the quality and size of the company that will come by the cleverness and the depth of the perception. So I encourage all of you, if you have this desire, like I would love to run my own company. I would love to be my own boss. I would love to create something. Start becoming observant in the world. That's step one. Start looking at all the experiences that you have and thinking about how they could be different or better. Second thing I want to talk about is I was very troubled in college because I didn't know what I couldn't answer the question, what am I going to be when I grow up? And as I got closer to graduating, I knew that I was on my own. I didn't have a net. My parents had made it very clear, like, we're going to help you with some college expenses, but when you're done. You're on your own. And so I knew that I had to figure something out. And the first experience I had that helped push me in the right direction is I had a professor in the entrepreneurship program, and he took an interest in me. And for whatever reason, he saw something in me, and he believed in me. And this was really validating. Eventually, he became the first $50,000 check in my first company. He invested in me. But while I was his student, he believed in me. He saw something about me that other people didn't see. He singled me out. He was gracious with his help. And this made a big difference. A huge difference. I think there's something really powerful when someone besides your parents and you are a young person take an interest in you and they see something different about you. It gives you a confidence. Up to this point, you cared a lot what your parents thought when you were young. You cared a lot what your peers thought when you were in high school and maybe in college. But when someone that didn't know you and isn't affiliated with your family or your church and had no connective tissue to you sees something in you, this changes a life. And I began to believe in myself, like I could maybe start a company. And he encouraged me to do that, so I did. And it scaled really quickly. It was an internet company in the late 90s. Pretty soon I had over 100 employees and I was 23 years old. So I really thought I might know how to do this, but I actually was woefully unprepared. There was a lot of self-awareness, a lack of self-awareness involved here, which is another interesting point. You are not unqualified to be an entrepreneur. In fact, sometimes the lack of experience and the naivete that you have will allow you to do something that someone else would be dismissive of. You just don't know yet, and that gives you a reason to try. It's a really beautiful thing. And I started this first business. I got investors. We grew really quickly. Most of you weren't born yet, but in the year 2000, there was one of the greatest crashes in stock market history. And it was led by tech companies, because from about the year 1997 to the year 2000, everyone believed the internet was going to transform how everyone worked and did everything, and it did. And so they put incredibly lofty valuations on every tech company. And through the course of about a 6-month period from March to October in the year 2000, most of the big tech companies lost over 90% of their value. So the big companies that had driven this, Intel, Cisco, Oracle, Sun Microsystems, most of their stocks were $1, $2, or $3. All-time lows. What ended up happening is all the venture capitalists stopped funding everything. So I even had a term sheet from one of the top venture capital funds on the planet to lead my next round, and they pulled the term sheet. And our burn rate was too high. So I had to lay off 100 of the 123 employees that we had. I had to call them in one by one and say, I'm so sorry that I recruited you to this crazy idea from your good paying job, and now you don't have one. And this was a very sobering moment. And I don't like to talk about it because it's still painful. I learned more about business during that correction than any other time in my business career. So there is a silver lining to bad things. You learn a lot. But on top of that, what I would say is it really started to prepare me for what was going to come next. And so in those moments when it's really bad and you're going through really hard things and your business isn't going well and it didn't turn out how you thought and you're disappointing employees and you're disappointing investors, like that's a crucible moment where you can take it in, learn, and become better on your next one. And the takeaway that you should have is, today I've taken a company public, I've sold a company to a Fortune 20 company, I've had what you would call financial success, but success does not happen in a straight line. It is not linear. It might look like that, but it really doesn't. There are really low lows and really high highs, and you are not on a straight line to success. And so when you have setbacks, you should note that it's an experience. It is not a permanent setback. You can learn from this moment and you will take that information and you will be better next time. We often invest in entrepreneurs who have failed once or twice. And I actually think many of them, the ones that are introspective, are better the second or the third time because they've learned from the failures. So just note that if you feel like at a moment at age 24, things aren't going quite right, that does not mean things are going to go off the tracks. You are still on the path to success. It just doesn't always look like success when you're in the moments of failure. So be reassured. After my first company sold for $700,000, which was not the desired outcome, luckily I had gone to lunch with a venture capitalist. And this comes back to one of my previous points. And during the lunch, he said, I loved getting to know you when I looked at your company. We just weren't convicted in your business, so we didn't invest. But I'd love to work with you. In fact, I'm hiring an associate at our fund. Would you ever want to work in the venture capital business? And I was like, oh, I'll think about it. And he's like, well, actually, we're filling the role right now. How about you just come back from to the office with me and I'll give you an office, get you going. This is strange, okay. So I followed him in his car to the office and he pointed me to an office and said, you'll work there. About 10 days later, a lady showed up from HR and said, here's your paperwork. Here's how you get benefits and get paid. I didn't know much about this business, but the business of venture capital is the business of investing in the rarest, craziest, most disruptive startups. And the way that we diffuse that risk is we invest in 30 or 40 of them at a time and we put them in a portfolio because the vast majority of them won't work. Only a few of them will work. But the ones that do work so well that the financial gains from those eclipse the losses in all the weaker companies that didn't work. That's how the model works. And I was really lucky. I got to work with a bunch of investors who were really great, and they taught me the business. And at about age 28, I woke up one day and I finally had the answer to the question, what am I going to be when I grow up? I was like, okay. I took entrepreneurship classes in college. I had a terrible entrepreneurial experience where I failed. And now I'm working at a venture fund. I guess I'm a startup guy. I'm going to work with startups. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Like, I'm going to be a startup person. For the first time, I had a label for what I was going to be for a career. And that question had vexed me all the way up until age 28, because I just felt like, my dad was a dentist. He wanted me to go to dental or medical school, and I didn't have a track like that I could fit into. It was, if someone asked me what I did for a living, I'd be like, I work at a finance company. Like, it didn't have a label for it. So finally, at age 28, my life starts to come together and had this great work experience where the same thing I described earlier happened again. The gentleman who recruited me to the firm, he saw something unique in me that I didn't see in myself. He believed in me, and that ignited a confidence in myself that even though I was totally unqualified for this job at a venture fund, I mean, I could operate a spreadsheet and a PowerPoint, and I could make reference calls, but I had to figure those things out and how it really worked. I wasn't qualified on day one, but I figured it out. And his belief in me changed my trajectory, just like my college professor. So I have two pieces of recommendation, two pieces of advice, generic advice. I tell all of my management team that has worked for me over the years, I would say pick one or two people in your organization and believe in them and mentor them and go deep with them and let them know why you care. You can't do it for everyone because you don't have enough cycles, but you can do it for one or two. And whether you're a university professor or you're leading people, your job is to get a couple of these people believing in themselves to inflect and become special. And it starts with you. If you're a student, my advice is, when you go to find your first job, pretend you had two offers, one at $60,000 and one at $75,000. The one at $60,000 has someone who would genuinely care about you and mentor you and teach you a business. And the more expensive, the offer that would pay you more money, you're not certain about the people. You don't know what it would feel like to work there. It's not clear that there's a mentor. You should take the lower paying job with the person who cares about you. I feel that strongly about it. If you can work early on, it's the advice I give my two kids that just graduated from college last year. They're looking at jobs, and I say, find out about the people. It's not about the company. Your experience is going to be with the people you work with, the person that leads you. So if it's not someone that cares about you and will invest in you and spend time with you and teach you the business, find a different job. If you're going to work for someone else, which is a good place to start, you can learn a business, make sure you're screening for the person who's going to mentor you. In my life, that is the thing that made all the difference. It's having those people. Okay, so then fast forward 4 years later, I've become really good at doing the tasks of a venture capital fund. So I'm taking a lot of pitches from entrepreneurs. I know what questions to ask. I know how to size up the quality of an early stage company. I have made more reference calls on people and companies, probably over 1,000 at this stage, 4 years in. So I'm getting really good at communicating with people on the telephone. And then one of the things that happens in a venture fund is when you finally do come across a company that you want to invest in, you do the equivalent of a book report. It's called an investment memo. And you write down all the merits and all the risks strategically, thoughtfully, about a company. Everything that can go right and everything that will go wrong. In fact, when you read that document 5 years later, if the company is out of business, you should have predicted it. You should have said, this is something that is an existential threat to this company. It might die because of this reason. If you're really good, you can predict it. So I had written a lot of investment memos now, probably 25 of them, and I had worked with a lot of companies, and I finally could see the patterns in which entrepreneurs were good and the results they got, and I had the courage to leave the firm and start my first company. And this was an amazing experience. We were able to raise $350,000 from 3 angel investors that we had worked with previously. They believed in us. Again, back to working with people that believe in you. If they really believe in you, when you leave to start something, they should feel greedy. They should be like, I want to be a part of that. I know he's special. He's going to create something. I know she is different. She's going to create something special. They should think that way. And so we went off, and a guy that I went to college with, we were very close with, and we were very close as friends in college. We decided we'd get together, and we created a marketplace for technical people, graphic designers and other service people. And the business grew really quickly. You know, we had learned a lot of good lessons about how to do it this time. I'd already had a failure. He'd worked at a bigger company, and we took that expertise, we put it together, and about 18 months in, our growth was pretty rapid. We were doing about $3 million in sales. And we went to Silicon Valley, and we pitched the best venture capitalists on Sand Hill Road, Kleiner Perkins, Sequoia, and Benchmark. Just legendary firms that have done some of the investments in the biggest companies from Apple to Google, et cetera. And I got about 4 slides into my deck, and the partner at the firm, it's called Benchmark, his name was Bob Cagle. He made one of the most legendary investments in Silicon Valley. He put $5 million into eBay for 20% of the company. And eBay eventually became worth more than $100 billion. So you can do the math on the appreciation of that investment. And 4 slides in, he says, I believe in you. You don't even have to finish the deck. I'm in. Let's do a deal. So I was able to get Bob Cagle, this legendary venture capitalist, to invest in my company and sit on my board. And not only did he teach me how to be an entrepreneur, he took the time to teach me how to be a venture capitalist as well, how to invest in other companies, the things he looked for, the patterns, the people, the nuance. And it was this phenomenal experience that I got to work with him. And unfortunately, about 2 3/4 years into the journey, I bumped into a guy at a conference, and he was the head of corporate development for the Hewlett-Packard company, HP. And he said, I've been tracking your company. He pulled me out of the lobby. And he said, I want to buy you. And about 30 minutes later, we had a deal done. And so less than 3 years after we started the company, we had sold the company, and we'd both become millionaires. And this was in my early 30s. And this was a remarkable change from my first company, where everything went wrong and was hard, and I timed the market poorly, and I didn't know what I was doing, to taking all those lessons, spending the time at the venture fund, and then finally being able to start a company, turn it into something valuable, grow it quickly, and sell it. And it was the most magical experience, and I'm still bonded with my partner and all the people that I worked with. It's the kind of life experience that you want everyone to get to have. And I'm expressing this because if you are a student and you're 23 years old or 22 years old and you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, I want you to become that entrepreneur. My goal is to convert you into an entrepreneur. I think it really can be the most fulfilling thing, not just financially, but the experience part that you will have also building something special with a team. It's a unique experience. Okay. A couple of other things. Once you become an entrepreneur, just like I talked earlier about choosing a job with someone who cares about you, your first job as an entrepreneur is the people you surround yourself with, what we would call the company culture, what it feels like to work in this company. And companies all have a culture. It's just some entrepreneurs are very intentional about the way they build their culture. They care about it, they nurse it. It's like a garden. You gotta prune it and take care of it. Or you can just ignore it and it'll become whatever it is. When you put a collection of people together, they figure out a way to mesh and things become normal, behaviors become normal, values become normal. Or you can proactively set those values, hire people for those values, fire people when they don't live your values, and you can create a really special place. When I say values, what I really mean is behaviors. So for example, you could say that you value teamwork. Well, maybe one part of teamwork, it's a nuanced part, is not taking credit when you do something well. Actually, the other behavior is better, giving credit. So we want someone that is low fingerprint, high impact. When I'm looking for a teammate, that's the kind of characteristic I would look for. So imagine now someone in my company is taking a lot of credit for something they've done. Well, I don't like that. So I might fire them, publicly lynch them. And I wouldn't tell people that I fired them because they didn't perform. I would tell people I fired them because they were a credit taker. And credit takers don't make good teammates. And we care about teamwork. What that does is it signals to all the other employees in the company that you are serious about your values. You are serious about which behaviors are acceptable in the company and which ones are not. And once you establish that, once it's clear that you are going to live and die on the behaviors that matter, now you can build a special company. You attract more people that already behave like that, and the culture builds on itself, eventually to the point where it gets its own immune system. And if a credit taker joins my company, I don't even have to fire them because the company will fire them. Everyone else is already indoctrinated in the nuance. So the one beautiful part about entrepreneurship is you get to hire people that you're compatible with, that you respect, that you can learn from. They should have a skill set deeper than yours. They should be a subject matter expert in something you're not. And a big part of this is just putting this collection of people together, helping them understand your vision with deep clarity, and then managing the execution towards it. That's the entire recipe. There's not more to it than that. And you can create great economic success, but more importantly, you can create great life memories with the people that you did the building with. That's actually the #1 reason why you should become an entrepreneur. I think you can have a richer life experience than you can working for someone else's company. That's why you should start your own. But I do endorse you learning at someone else's company. I think that's also a great starting point. And if you want to work in tech, or you want to work in Hollywood, or you want to work in whatever place, you should move to that city where that is the epicenter. If you want to be in tech, you should spend a couple of years in San Francisco. You can always come back here with the information and experience you bring with you. If you want to work in an industry that is specific geographically, you should go to that place. I feel really strongly about that. Get some experience. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is just the role of education. So I think you guys all confront the value of education and should I go to college? And when I reflect back on my college experience, I met a lot of really fantastic people that I later crossed paths with in my life. Many of them I was able to recruit to my companies, or now in my current job, I'll recruit them to companies where we invest in. So I really encourage you when you're a student to be a prolific networker. You should be friendly and outgoing. You should feel comfortable starting conversations with strangers. You should get to know people. Be social, overcome it. Feel free to introduce yourself to others, because when you leave college, you're gonna have this rich network of people, and you will remember, oh, there was that student I went to school with, they were so good at this thing, I wanna call them on this. The beautiful part about your generation is you got social networking. We didn't have LinkedIn when we were in college. We didn't have any way to keep track of people over after we left. The second thing that I would have you do is build a deep relationship with one or two of your professors. You won't like them all, but there's probably one that you have an affection towards. Become close with them. Spend time with them outside of the classroom, right? They can teach you a lot, and they can be their first believer. And that's important because you need the courage that you'll get once one of your professors really believes in you. So I think college can be really valuable for 3 reasons. 1, you can network with other people. So don't lose that chance. 2, you can find 1 or 2 or 3 professors that you can make a part of your entire life. I am still close with the professors that believed in me in college. We still talk. We're friends over all these years. And the third thing is, especially with ChatGPT and all of the AI, it's completely shifting how work gets done. I'm sure it makes it really easy for a lot of your homework assignments. You're like, I just upload that to chat, it wrote it, I'll rewrite a few things, it created my presentation. But you really have to learn how to learn. Be an efficient learner, because when you're an entrepreneur, your job is to absorb a lot of random information and assimilate it, and then make decisions based on it. The decision making is the value. My family has 3 values, and I've been drilling this into my kids for years. There are 3 things that you cannot buy: a fit body, a clear mind, and love in your home. Those things all must be earned. They can't be purchased. They require investment, like planting in the spring so that you can harvest in the fall. It's a different kind of approach. And the reason why the clear mind part is so important is because if you are riddled with anxiety or depression, you will not make clear decisions. And the job of an entrepreneur is to make clear decisions for everyone in the company. So I mistakenly was very anxious for a lot of years, worrying about what I was going to be when I grew up. I didn't even figure it out till age 28. I didn't even have a label for it till 28. All of that anxiety was a waste, and it probably harmed me. I was so fearful of something that never happened, like, what am I going to be when I grow up, that I think I didn't have a clear mind. You have to have a clear mind, because then you'll make great life decisions for yourself. So you have to figure out a way that all the things in this world that come at you and make you feel anxious, whatever it is for you, you have to figure out a way to fight through that, get over that, overcome that, so that you can make good decisions for yourself. That's why a clear mind matters. And when we invest in an entrepreneur, for sure that's one of the boxes we check. If this person is capable of making very good decisions because they have a clear mind, we want to be their partner. If that's a question mark, that's a reason not to invest. And with that, hopefully I told you enough stories to keep you entertained. I'll let everyone go this evening, but I am happy to stick around and answer questions. I know when I was a student, actually, I'll tell you one last story. This cute guy over here, Matt Mossman. So at age 35, this guy from Moscow, Idaho, becomes the senior vice president of corporate development. What that means is you're in charge of mergers and acquisitions and investments in other companies. He became the head of that at the second largest software company on the planet, Oracle, at the age of 35, quite young. I'm pretty certain Matt wasn't well qualified on the day he started that job. And if anyone knows the character of Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, he is likely the most demanding leader in all of technology. And that's why he was so bonded with Steve Jobs. They were kind of peas in a pod. Very demanding character, hard to work for. And on the day that Matt started, he was not well qualified for that job, but he learned it and became great at it. And while I was just starting my career, I think I'd been working at the venture fund as the junior associate for about 2 years. I went to a university business plan entrepreneur day like this. And Matt was one of the speakers, except I was in my 20s. But I knew Matt was the head of mergers and acquisitions, the second biggest software company in the world. I'm like, this is a guy I'm going to get to know. So I chased Matt down after he spoke, and I introduced myself. And I said, I'm Jeff, I work at a venture fund, and I'd love to get to meet you. One day when I was in San Francisco, I emailed Matt Mossman, didn't know him. I said, Matt, I'd love to come by your office and see Oracle. So I rode up an elevator to the top floor of a big building and walked out onto the executive floor of Oracle with all the executives and Larry Ellison's office right in the middle. And I sat down in Matt's office, and he took an hour to talk to me about career advice and how I could develop myself, and we became friends. Randomly, all these years later, we worked together at the same place. But he took the time to do that for me, and over the years, whenever I needed anything Oracle related or had a question about entrepreneurship or even philosophy, I might reach out to Matt Mossman. He's quite well read. So the reason why I tell you that is just, you never know when you might meet someone at a night like this where your paths would cross and your outcome is different. So that's why I encourage you to go up and introduce yourself and be friendly, and you never know where that goes. Your life can change. I mean, shoot, I met my wife randomly. You never know what can happen if you introduce yourself to a stranger. So with that, I'm happy to take a couple questions, or I can sit down, whatever you'd like me to do. I just want to be as helpful as I can to you students. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's give one more round of applause to Jeff, his freestyle, just like Snoop D-O-double-G. All right, up next, we are going to welcome to the stage here our Carson College of Business Dean, Debbie Campo. Very excited to have her tonight. And welcome to the stage. It's all you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Carson College of Business and Washington State University, I want to say welcome to Pullman. Welcome to our high school league teams. Where are all of you tonight? Wave out if you're the high school league teams. There we go. Awesome. Welcome to our open league teams. Where are all of you? Awesome. And welcome to our collegiate teams from here at home. Awesome. Welcome to our sponsors and our judges, and thank you for your tremendous support of this incredible learning opportunity. The Carson College of Business graduates more business students than any other school in the region. We are dedicated to providing a transformative learning experience and producing capable decision makers and business leaders. The Center for Entrepreneurship and this business plan competition is a critical piece of this learning experience. Through this competition, you have a tremendous learning and growth opportunity. as you navigate all of the weird challenges of bringing new products to life, everything from marketing to manufacturing, from leadership to financing. So to all of the teams, congratulations. I know you've invested an incredible amount of effort in your own professional development by building out your business plans for this competition. Your entrepreneurial spirit and your passion to make a positive difference in society through your ideas was evident throughout the trade show and throughout the day. I loved my opportunity to walk the trade show today and hear all of your stories. Entrepreneurial activity is never a straight path from A to B. You heard that from Jeff. You've experienced that in your own time here. I've seen ventures start out in one direction and pivot to a very different direction as the people learned more about their product and more about their markets. But what you've shown here today is the dedication and the perseverance that it takes to keep moving forward, taking the next step, finding the next path to achieve the next milestone to eventually bring your vision to market. You should all be really, really proud of what you've accomplished to bring you here to this moment. So keep pursuing the things that matter to you. And if you do that as you've done here, nothing will stand in your way. Go Cougs!
All right, let's give another round of applause for the dean. Got a few more speakers, and then we're going to get to the awards. So for right now, we are going to welcome some of our key sponsors. So we're going to start off this evening by welcoming Dave Devine. He's here on behalf of Lee & Hayes. Now, Dave Devine and Lee & Hayes, they are longstanding sponsors as well as supporters of the WSU Business Plan competition, and no stranger to this stage. Please welcome Dave.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's great to be here. Unlike Jeff, I am not able to whip out remarks without some notes. I'm a patent attorney, so always have the notes with me. So it's wonderful to be here. It's great to see the energy and the passion in the room tonight. So many great ideas. So many great ideas. For the past decade, we at Lee & Hayes have had the pleasure to support Washington State University as a sponsor, as mentors, and as advisors for this business plan competition. We've watched the competition consistently grow and improve over the years and develop into the incredible event that it is tonight. And I just want to say, congratulate everybody that was involved in putting this thing on tonight. It's absolutely incredible. It's a great event and a great opportunity. And maybe let's everybody give a round of applause for everybody that had a part in putting this competition on. So I'm a partner at Lee & Hayes. Our firm's really built on innovation. We're an IP-centric law firm. We work with groundbreaking companies and brilliant minds every day, helping them protect and grow their intellectual property. And by supporting this event, we aim to foster that innovation and connect with the next generation of visionary leaders that are coming out of Washington State University, right here, all of you. So to the incredible teams that competed today, congratulations on reaching this stage again. It's an incredible accomplishment. The dedication, hard work, and late nights you've poured into your ventures are truly commendable. And regardless of today's outcomes, the invaluable skills and knowledge you've gained through this process will serve you well in every endeavor you pursue. As you leave here, and as Jeff and Debbie both mentioned, remember, the journey of an entrepreneur is rarely a straight line. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be curveballs. There's definitely going to be moments where you wonder if you need a lawyer. And when you do, give me a call. I know some good ones. So we at Lee & Hayes are excited to witness the impact you will undoubtedly make. Good luck to each and every one of you tonight and in your future, and go Cougs.
More applause for Dave Devine and Lee & Hayes. Thank you very much. They really have been longstanding supporters of the program, so we really appreciate it. All right, next up to the stage is Brittany Long on behalf of Submittable. Brittany, go ahead and come up. Submittable is another one of our sponsors here at the WSU Business Plan Competition. They do provide our submission and our scoring software. Submittable helps clients further social impact through programs that reach millions of people around the world. Brittany, welcome to BPC.
I was curious what picture they were going to choose, but that one's good. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here and allowing me to be a part of today's competition and tonight's award dinner. It's extremely surreal being back at WSU right now, even though I only graduated 4 years ago. It feels like much, much longer. To put that timeline into perspective, I graduated right when the Chipotle got built on the hill and was extremely disappointed that I didn't get to utilize it more. Our CEO, Thor Culverhouse, asked me to represent Submittable today and is an alumni from WSU himself. He has Submittable support this event every year, and you may or may not have even noticed that our platform was how you submitted your applications for this competition. To speak more about what Submittable is, we are a social impact company that helps streamline applications for over 11,000 foundations, governments, corporations, and universities, like my favorite, WSU. These programs that we help support and build out include grant, volunteering, and giving programs. Some examples of our customers include Nike, Google, Coca-Cola, and more. During COVID, we partnered with the US Bank to process over 1.2 million applications and distribute $500 million in funds. Broken down, that's 40 applications per second, with 97% getting those funds in 3 business days, which is still insane, hard to wrap my head around to this day. We just also went through a huge acquisition, joining forces with WiseHive and growing the company and our customers even further. Today feels so special for me to be here because I've been picturing where I was and how I was feeling 4 years ago, right before graduating, like many of you are today. When I went to WSU, I majored in English rhetoric and minored in digital technology and culture. If you asked me in April before graduation that I would end up being in sales at a software company, I would have laughed. When I got connected to Submittable and first started out, I figured, hey, let's give it a shot in the business world and see what happens. I was on the sales development team connecting with foundations and then state and local governments every day to introduce them to our platform. I quickly realized that I loved connecting with people, hearing their stories, and offering a solution that makes a huge difference in their lives and the lives of individuals that they support. I draw this comparison to all the innovative solutions that I've seen today and all the creativity from all of you that I know will make an impact after leaving WSU. Being a part of Submittable has opened my eyes to all the ways that businesses and technologies play a huge role in people's lives, even if it's just as small as moving a family foundation from paper spreadsheets to a streamlined process. 3.5 years later, I am now a customer success manager, managing over 150 of Submittable's accounts, and I feel honored to be back at my alma mater to recognize all of you. Every idea and business model is so deserving to be in today's competition, and I can't wait to watch these startups grow into something like the idea that Submittable once was too. We also have a ton of WSU alumni on our Submittable team, and we're always looking for more. Thank you to Paul and the team and all the students for having me, and as always, go Cougs.
All right, let's hear it again for Brittany. Now, Brittany, I too was a student here before there was a Chipotle, so I feel that. It's fine, they would have taken all my money. All right, next up, let's welcome Tony Poston on behalf of Cougs First. A lot of people in this room are very familiar with Cougs First. He's on his way up here. It is a business network that encourages WSU alumni and friends to think simply Cougs First. When it comes to products, services, and hiring, there are more than 240,000 alumni spanning across the globe, and their mission is very simple as well, Cougs supporting Cougs. Tony, welcome.
All right. Well, I too just learned like 5 minutes ago that I was actually going to be saying things and not just handing out an award. So I was frantically typing some notes. First of all, this is amazing. I think this is my third or fourth BPC that I've been part of. Years ago, some of you may know I started a company called College Hill, so I was a judge representing them, and then now Paddock Spirits, and I'm here representing Cougs First now. So thanks for having me. This is by far the best one that we've had, I think. I've screened a lot of these and been part of the presentation round, and holy cow. As you guys know, Cougs First is a business network, and we do a trade show. If you don't know, it's May 9th in Bellevue. Please come. It's free to attend. But I've done, I don't know, dozens of trade shows in my time with my company, College Hill, both behind the booth and attending as an attendee. And any of those booths there would fit right in with all of the trade shows I've been at. So just give yourselves a round of applause. Amazing. And obviously, I'm really biased towards the Cougs, but some of those high schools, holy cow, you guys are awesome. So just keep that up. I mean, I wish I would have experience like that when I was in high school, because I started multiple businesses and not anything close to that. So I just want to talk about the power of the WSU network. Like Jeff said, networking is so, so important. And for those of you here on campus, being here in Pullman and getting that WSU degree is so important. We all know we walk up to school we walk uphill both ways to school in 2 feet of snow. We have this experience out here, and there's nothing like it. And there are 240,000 alumni across the world. And who here has been somewhere and gotten a Go Cougs in an airport? Yes, I've hired hundreds of people, and 95% of them are Cougs. And I've hired one Husky, and it was the worst hire I ever made. So, but just keep up doing this kind of thing. You know, this amplifier program that Carson has is so amazing. Come to our trade show, network with each other, and have fun with building these companies, because you guys are all amazing. So give yourselves a round of applause. And I think I'm handing out an award now, yeah?
Does the script say so?
I never got a copy of a script, so all right.
Tony stays on stage.
All
That
right.
means you stay right here. All right, thanks again to Tony. Let's give him one more round of applause as well as Cougs First. I'll even give you one more plug. May 9th in Bellevue for the Cougs First Trade Show. If you can go, definitely make it. All right, so we're gonna keep him up here for the first prize of the evening. There's a few things that we need to go over before you receive an award. So if you do win, come up here, watch your step. There's 3 steps, and if you trip, we're all gonna watch. So make sure that you watch your step. On top of that, make sure that you stay as well for the photos. As you can tell, we do have a photographer here. We want to get you there with the check as well as the sponsors. And then also, if you do win an award, go ahead and take your lanyard off before you come up here. It just looks better for the photos. All right, we ready for the first round of prizes? Let's see. The winner of the Cougs First Trade Show prize for $2,500 is...
Maria, okay. All right. This was a close one, and you also know with the $2,500, you get a booth at our show on May 9th in Bellevue, and we'll put you up in the Hyatt Regency there. Someone Loves You Mead High School.
Someone Loves You is a team from Mead High School. They create hoodies with uplifting messaging. Congratulations to Someone Loves You. Take a look at that. Big check to start off. It's a competition.
Marie, am I supposed to announce this? Okay, can I take this mic? All right.
That one's not on here.
Okay. All right, great job. Thank you so much. Also, if you guys need screen printing, I know a guy, so. Okay, and this one was so close by 1 point, and we were just thrilled to offer a second booth and hotel stay at our show. So we don't have a card for this one, but I have to get the name right. Whiskers and Willow. We would also love for you to come to our show and exhibit and put you up at the Hyatt Regency. So great job.
All right, congratulations, everyone. One more round of applause for Tony and Cougs first. Thanks a lot for your generosity. We got two awards for that one. All right, it's time now for the high school award. So go ahead and please help me in welcoming Julie Wukelik from the Believe in Me Foundation. I told you guys, there's 3 steps coming up here, and you really gotta watch.
I was actually counting them too. I wasn't paying attention to the shoes.
All right, welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be at Cougs First. Any of you out here going to be at Cougs First, the networking event? I'm so pumped. We look forward to both the Bellevue and the Spokane show every year. It is just an amazing opportunity to network. If you are a business owner out there and haven't signed up, go do it now. Okay, so I wanted to say thank you to Jeff, our keynote speaker, for actually teeing it up for me. His speech talked all about the power that we all have to believe in each other and to invest in one another. So I am the Chief Executive Officer at Believe in Me. We are a foundation that supports the needs of marginalized youth in the community. And we primarily do that by making out grants to marginalized youth who don't have anybody there to believe in them. And we didn't used to be called Believe in Me, and when we kind of did a values analysis, like Jeff was talking about, we realized that one of our core values was that we really want to help kids develop the self-confidence they need to succeed. And if you really think about it, that's what motivates us to do what we do every day, is that somebody sat us down and said, hey, you're really good at that. So that's what we're all about. And as part of Coug Nation, and as part of that entrepreneurial drive that I think is probably present in every single one of the Cougs that are in the room today, I've got that running through my veins as well. We're all entrepreneurs. We all have that drive. And although I am in a leadership position over a nonprofit, the same thing exists in the nonprofit world as it does in the for-profit world. So I want you all to remember that making a profit is not always the motivation for creating, innovating, and bringing new things to life. Great example of this is a couple of different programs that we've been developing at Believe in Me throughout the course of the past couple of years. Number one is our Cougs for Kids program, inspired by WSU and all the loving hearts of the Coug Nation. Basically, we are leveraging the generosity of Cougs across the country in order to help match up WSU students with marginalized youth in a mentor-mentee capacity. We're putting on a summer camp here on the campus for those kids, bringing them on campus and pairing them up with their student mentors and creating relationships, not just between the mentor and mentee, but really creating that idea that college is possible. Many of these kids are coming from situations where they're living in poverty. Maybe they live in a rural situation where college just seems out of reach. And by bringing them on campus and showing them that college is possible, that people care about you, and that they believe in you, really is going to change the trajectory of these kids' lives. And Paul Warner and the Center for Entrepreneurship, the College of Business, the College of Engineering, we're all working together to make this happen. So it's a really, really exciting opportunity for me to exercise my entrepreneurship muscles. On top of that, we're also building a program that's driven by AI. Everybody uses that phrase AI, but this really it's powered by AI. Not just one AI model, but multiple AI models in order to help mentor kids who do not have a mentor at home. So basically, it's helping them to navigate life and to answer that question, what am I going to be when I grow up, and try to help show them the way. all of this just really gives me the sense of satisfaction that everything I did in my schooling at WSU, the 2 times that I participated in the business plan competition, all of my graduate level MBA classes, they've all play a role in what I get to do today, and I'm so grateful for that. And so when I look back at kind of the foundation of where that all kind of comes from, much of it comes from a Coug. One Coug who sat me down and said, I really think you need to go to college. No one in my life had ever told me that. And I didn't have AI, I didn't have a mentor or a guide, but I did have an employer who believed in me. And he basically said, I think you should check out WSU. And look at me now. And that's a story for many of the alum that are in the room today. So I just want to say thank you to all of those people in my life and in all of your lives as well who have kind of inspired us, motivated us, and really driven that self-confidence that we needed to take that leap, to take that step, and to move forward with our education, with these crazy harebrained ideas that we have to innovate. And just thank you to all of those mentors and folks out there supporting us. And one last thing that I wanted to say is thank you to all of the teachers, all of the advisors, all of the folks who are instilling this belief in the students, in me, in you. You really have, I have no idea the impact that you are making on the future of our country and of our Cougar family. So I just really wanted to shout out and share some gratitude for, I'm particularly partial to the high school business plan competition because that's what we support. So the high school teachers that are here with their teams, I'd like to just give a round of applause to those advisors and teachers. Without their support, where would these kids be? And the amazing business plans that they have presented to us today, it's just, every year it gets better. So that's about all I have to say, so I'm excited to hand out some prizes.
All right, one more round of applause for Believe in Me and all right, we're also going to bring up Dean Campo and then Paul, if you want to come up here as well. We're going to give out some awards. So a reminder, just please stay on stage to make sure that you get your photo taken. So this year, 4 high school teams, they all advanced to today's presentation round. And the best part, all of them are winners. All right, let's go ahead and grab that first. 4th place. All right. Now, the winner of the Believe in Me 4th place prize of $750 is
Arachnid Apparel from Meade High School.
Congratulations to Arachnid Apparel. This is a company recycling clothes into trendy fashions. Congratulations. All right. 3rd place, moving along. In 3rd place, winning $1,000, the Believe in Me prize is
Someone Loves You from Meade High School.
Congratulations to Someone Loves You. They already are taking home an award today. These are hoodies with uplifting messaging, and they are from Meade High School. Congratulations. Good work. Congratulations. Time now for the 2nd place prize for the high schoolers. For the Believe in Me 2nd place, you get $2,000. And the winner is
Sweet Labs from Meade High School.
Congratulations to Sweet Labs. This is an interactive dessert shop. you want your envelope?
No, that's yours.
Go and keep that. Yeah. All right, Julie, thank you so much for your assistance. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to keep you guys on stage here, though. So now is time for the first place winner of the CFE Grand Prize for high schoolers, which they get to take home $5,000. It's a pretty penny right there. Dean, who is the first place winner?
Vital from Sammamish High School.
Vital is an AI landscaping service. Congratulations to Vital. Oh, yes. $5,000 and a big check and a certificate. Come on. There we go. Hold it proud. There you go. Yeah, congratulations to Vital. All right, we just want to give a special thank you to all of the high school advisors, Brandon Butler, Jeff Bright, Josie Clark, Melissa Meyer, Reagan Drew, Samantha Smith, San Trong. These are the high schools that all took part this year. You've got Meade Senior High School, Sammamish, Pullman Christian, Meade again, Lincoln High School over in Seattle, and East Valley High School. Just another round of applause for all of the teams and the advisors. All right, so now we're going to start off the College League Awards, and we are going to start off with the merit prizes. Those big checks will come later. And another reminder, when you come up here, don't run away. Stay here for your photo, don't trip, and also take your lanyard off before the photo. All right, so let's take a look at the merit prizes that are available this year, and we do have a few of them. You've got Best Social Impact Venture, you have Best Technology Venture, and the Valikoff Best Ag Innovation Award. All of those range between $2,500 to $3,000. So we're gonna start off first with the Best Social Impact Venture Award, and the winner of $2,500 is
Whiskers and Willow Cat Cafe.
Congratulations to Whiskers and Willow Cat Cafe. This is an experience-driven cat cafe who had a very cute raffle earlier. Maybe you went home with a little kitty. You guys want your envelope? There you go. Yeah, congratulations. All right, we're moving on to the Best Technology Venture Award. These guys get to win $2,500. Dean, the winner is?
Carrot AI.
Carrot AI is a personalized recommendation platform that uses a novel technology to measure customers' unique hair type and recommend hair care products best formulated for them. These are WSU students Jason McCarr and Mason Matich. Congratulations. You guys want to take your envelope? Yeah. Congratulations. All right, to round out our merit prizes this evening, we are going to finish off with the Valikoff Best Ag Innovation Award. This, you get to win $2,500, and the winner goes to?
Ag Tag.
Let's go ahead and bring on Ryan Lance. Sorry about that. Ryan, you got skipped over in the event flow, so I'll give the mic to you and just say a little bit about yourself. Tell us about Valikoff. Congratulations to AgTag.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's all right. We'll make it quick. Yeah, congrats, you guys. Super cool technology that you guys are working on. So I'm Ryan Lance, here as part of the Board of Advisors for Entrepreneurship. So to my fellow board members, thank you all for being here and doing what you do. This is really exciting. We love being here for the business plan. And yeah, getting to be up here to present for this particular award. Working in agriculture is not where I thought I would end up, but you know, it's an interesting space, and there's a lot of need for innovation, which is kind of the reason why we're doing this. Little side note that my boss, Brett Valikoff, one of the owners of Valikoff Fruit, is a Husky. But being his CFO, I get to control where his money goes. So we can all revel in that, I think, a little bit. So the Valikoff family has been farming in the Yakima Valley for 150 years. So they are apple farmers, apple growers and packers and sellers. And I have to be careful that I say I work in apples, not for Apple. I had somebody very disappointed when they found out that it wasn't Apple, the company. But a couple quick fun facts about apples is that every apple you eat has been handpicked off of a tree. There's no automation. It's being worked on, but today every single one is handpicked. It goes into a wooden bin that's moved, put on a truck. The truck goes back to a warehouse. It gets put in a refrigerator about the size of this room, and it sits there for up to 12 months. We put the apples to sleep, and they sit there, and so they stay relatively fresh. That's the goal, at least. But when you eat an apple in July, usually that apple is about a year old, almost. So, but then when that apple comes out of the refrigerator and we go to pack it, it goes across a manufacturing line and process where another human being takes that apple and puts it into a box. So every apple that you eat has been touched by a human twice. Washington State produces about 65% of the nation's apples, hence why we're kind of known for that. But it's millions and millions and millions of apples that are produced out of here, and they're all being touched by humans. So just apples alone, right, it's ripe for innovation. So I think I know I'd be guilty of this. We forget about agriculture. We forget about where our food comes from because it just shows up when we want it, when we need it, and we get it whenever we want. And it's easy. But for all the young people here who are thinking about, big, grand ideas, agriculture is ripe for that. And there's a lot of room for improvement and a lot of opportunity. So hopefully by doing awards like this, we can promote some of that innovation that we need. So thank you.
All right, let's have one more round of applause for Ag Tag as well as Ryan Lance. I was looking right at you and I felt like something was missing. My apologies. All right, so we are going to move on to, turn the page. Final awards. All right, so our first College League prize, this one is sponsored by Foster Garvey and goes to the top team in the Foster Garvey Open League. So for this award, we're gonna go ahead and welcome up Dan Watkins, who is a partner at Foster Garvey. Yep, round of applause. Dan is also a longtime BPC supporter, and we do appreciate everything he does for the center, and he also is no stranger to this stage.
Thank you so much. First of all, I've been to a lot of business plan competitions, and this was one of the most competitive leagues that I've ever judged. This has been super impressive. It always is. Thank you guys so much for having me. I am a partner at Foster Garvey, I'm in the Spokane office. I focus primarily on working with technology startups. And so I have the privilege of working with some amazing attorneys. We're based here in the Pacific Northwest, have about 140 attorneys, offices around the country. So thank you again for having us, and congratulations to everyone.
All right, another round of applause for Dan as well as Foster Garvey. And Dan, we are going to keep you on stage for this award. And the Foster Garvey Open League grand prize of $5,000 goes to, Dan, you want to read it off? It's your winner.
Neuroprima.
Neuroprima is a cranial implant, eliminating one surgery for faster recovery and fewer complications. Congratulations to this team. Neuroprima being part of our open league, they are from Johns Hopkins University. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Congrats again to Neuroprima, $5,000 for that team. Thanks again to Dan, as well as Foster Garvey. All right, so it is time now for the final 5 WSU awards. And Paul, well, you're already up here on stage. All right, so the $5,000 award for $2,000 goes to
Miata Fitment.
Miata Fitment simplifies the buying process with a 3D fitment visualizer, allowing users to input any wheel, tire, and suspension setup. This is Anthony DeVito and Antonio Casilla. Congratulations. The 5th place award again awards $2,000 to this team. Congratulations. All right, moving on to 4th place, which also wins $4,000 this evening. Dean, the winner?
Driveway Pit Stop, Mobile Mechanic.
Driveway Pit Stop Mobile Mechanic. This is a mobile oil changing service that provides convenience to busy vehicle owners who also want to keep their car well maintained without disrupting their schedule. This is Mason and Benjamin. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. One more round of applause. All right, we are down to the top 3, and this the third place prize is actually sponsored by the Entrepreneurship Advisory Board. So go ahead and let's welcome Scott Thompson, who is representing the board this evening. And as Scott makes his way up here, thank you again to the board and all of the members here tonight to support this competition. We really appreciate it.
So real quick, you guys, first, really proud of what you've done today. You stepped outside your comfort zone, and the business plan is really designed to have you do that. And a little bit of the money that the Entrepreneurship Board contributes is designed to create a little bit of additional stress. So mission accomplished, I'm thinking. Looking at you guys down here in particular, but really, really nice jobs. I'm very proud on behalf of our board to do that. I do want to say that there are a lot of people inside of this room that are on boards that are here to make sure that you get the very best educational experience you possibly can, and you're at the best university in the country. And it's because of much of the work that these people do to make sure you're getting the information you need to be as successful as you can possibly be. And we're very, very proud of that. Congratulations to all you guys. So now, 3rd place is going to Rainmaker Solutions. Let's go. Okay, sure.
Rainmaker Solutions, this is Aiden Finnegan. His idea is a turnkey automation service that is built for mobile car detailers. And once again, for the top 3, we bring out the big checks. Congratulations. Scott, thank you again, and also thank you to the board. That award got $7,000, so the money keeps coming. Down to our final 2 prizes, and if you win this 2nd place prize, you get $10,000. Dean, who gets 10 grand?
Carrot AI.
Carrot AI, this is Jason and Mason. Their idea is a personalized recommendation platform that uses a novel technology to measure customers' unique hair type and recommend hair care products best formulated for them. Congratulations, Jason and Mason with Carrot AI. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the first place grand prize winner, and they get $15,000, the biggest award this evening. Dean, who gets 15 grand?
Wearable Aromas.
Congratulations to Wearable Aromas. This team is made up of James Harrison and MJ Kunkel. Their idea is a solid perfume locket necklace that is designed for on-the-go, mess-free application. Congratulations to Wearable Aromas. Yeah, take the check. Congratulations again to our grand prize winners and all of our winners this evening, as well as all of the teams who competed. It was another great year, so just give everyone another big Coug round of applause. They were so good this year. All right, over to you.
Over to me. All right. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're at the end of our hour, so we're going to wrap it up real quick. Thank you to everyone who took part. Jeff, I thank you so much for an inspirational keynote. I want to thank everybody who's been here, bringing it together. And before we call it a night, I've thanked all of the folks who have made this possible, but I also want to thank the people who make it possible working within, the unsung heroes that you don't see working behind the scenes. I get to be a very public figure. These folks are in the back doing all the hard work and making these events happen. And I gotta start out with saying thank you to Savannah Maltos. Your work, your work is amazing, and I hope I'm getting the right order here. You know, it's like just grab. Okay. Anyway, Savannah Maltos, thank you so much. She's the one answering questions, staying up till midnight to make sure the submittable entries go in, just from start to finish, wonderful to work with. Liradonna Ponasheki, are you here? Liradonna, please, thank you. Another unsung hero who I'm sure you've had email exchanges with, takes care of everything and the communications and logistics. And so thank you so much, Liradonna. All right. Marie Mays. The applause speaks for itself. Thank you. I want to thank Marie for just being an incredible advisor, sharing a lot of what she's learned in building this competition, and I can't thank her enough. And she's still part of the center. She's advising. She's spending a little bit more time teaching now, but we are so lucky to have her part of this team. Thank you, Marie. Okay. This is another one. I have got to say, Angie Center, our event coordinator. Oh my goodness. I don't know how she did the last 2 days. I have no idea. Magician, wizard. Thank you, Angie. I think we have it. Right? We will. We'll get it all right. Thank you. All right. And now another person who's just been indispensable, and I can't thank her enough, Annalise Sharoun-Safansek. I can't thank you enough. She joins us from San Francisco and is helping us make all the operations as smooth as you experienced today. Thank you so much. Thank you. And where's Nikki? Nikki, get up here. MC, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think we're still figuring out whose bags are what, but I'm just going to hand you one. Yeah. It'll be a good conversation starter. Okay. Oh, Braden. Braden, are you out here? Braden, Morgan, student worker, rocking the CFE. Thank you. We also want to thank College Hill for the gifts for our judges, our friends at the Office of Technology. Thank you for making this all work. That's Ann, and graphics from Ann Nelson. We've got a CCB tech staff, Eric Winslow and Paul Courier, and our friends at the Provost Media team, Rob Baker. You are amazing. Thank you. We also have, is Micah Howard here? All right, thank you, Micah, for all your work. And last but not least, Sue McMurray, who's writing up an article about this event as we speak, and I hope she's here. Thank you, Sue, for all you've done. I appreciate it. And, of course, our sponsors, again, thank you. I can't thank you enough for making this event happen. It's you who are making this event happen. And of course, all the hardworking students who really showed up this year and really did a heck of a job. Thank you all. So, I think my voice is loud enough without it. Just a quick housekeeping. For those of you who won awards tonight, you will be hearing from Lyradonna, who will be swinging in again and become your best friend and making sure those payments are processed. And there is, are we going to do the amplifier credit here, or is that after? Oh, no, we get right to this. This is my favorite part. I want you all, can you believe we got through this? We're at the end. So have a great summer and go Cougs! All right.